Hi dear friends, welcome to my channel. It's Akshadhari by Devraj. I hope you guys are enjoying the days and working on to improve our communication and also following the same tips to improve our communication. Before going to start, I would request you guys to please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. So leave a comment in the comment box if you have any doubts or queries or any sessions needed. So let me start the today newspaper reading and to give the important topics which are the important topics in today news. Okay, let me start today newspaper. Yes, guys, let me start today newspaper reading. Please start reading the newspaper at least 42 to 40 minutes, 2 hours. That would increase your communication skill, and also you can talk very easily, very fluently in English in the next 30 days. Let me start today newspaper. Yes, now it is visible. Let me open the newspaper. Yes, guys, let me start reading the newspaper. Today in the front page, it's about visit a blessing. It's about politics. Son of the Swishwara Gurukula Youth Science College, Kardial. Yeah, this is the front page. No union but center ready to ease living of gay couples. SC sets aside SC stay on inquiry into Amravati landscape. Helpline to the rescue of Kashmiris. SU foreign ministers to meet in Goa today. Karnataka full and ideological contestations. Go first lands in NCLT with 11,463 crore dues. Ukraine sent drones to target Putin's regime. April PMA signal services sector had best expansion in 13 years. Number of candidates with criminal cases up from last fools. ADR report. Heavy rain leads to a leakage in KIA new terminal. Go first flights grounded as airline suspends operations. Two more held over students murdered on university campus. Withdrawal of provisional RMP 2031 will not negate actions already taken as per that plan. CCB seizes e-cigarettes. Young voters, Belgavi district has the highest enrollment. Senior citizens say pump and show Trump personal campaigning now. Jain University escaped controversy. Government issues third notice to DC seeking report. Trio caught selling hashish oil at Silk Board Junction. Candidates showcase the relief work they did during COVID-19 pandemic. Those who have helped people get hospital beds, oxygen generators, and food kits during tough times seem to have earned tremendous goodwill. While there is also a service, there is also a severe anti-incumbency sentiment against those who were found wanting in the response to the crisis. A battle of prestige for BJP and Congress in C.V. Raman and Shantinagar sentiments. Modi to undertake a mega 8-hour road show covering 36.6 km in city on Saturday. 31-year-old delivery executive arrested for peddling drugs. 38 candidates contesting in Bengaluru have cases against them. Average assets of Congress candidates with worth 49.83 crore and that of BJP candidates 39.41 crore. A number of candidates with criminal cases of Congress says it will repeal anti-people laws. Civil society groups expect clear stand. Low number of women candidates across parties. Modi chants Bajranga Bahale ki jai. Congress says don't equate Bajranga Dal with Lord Hanuman. Indian politics will witness dramatic change post says Kanhaiya Kumar. The battle between sitters' heart sentiments and the BJP betrayal code. TN asks collectors SPs to be alert ahead of release of the Kerala story. Kharge's son BJP leader Ethnal get NEC notices. Courts say bulwark against media suppression. Karnataka fool agenda. It is turning out to be BJP national versus Congress local in the rural hinterland. Moral policing foreheld for assaulting student in Puttur. Harikumpam is partially blind, says Kerala Police Department report. This is the editorial page. Let me read the editorial page. The Karnataka election is the ideological contestations. The electoral arena in Karnataka in the run up to the state assembly elections 2023 and May 10 has turned out to be a battleground that is outpacing any other in living memory. There are many reasons being advanced for this. Karnataka has been the stepping stone of the Bharatiya Janata Party to South India and needs to be retained at all costs. The state is an economic powerhouse, particularly in new technologies. There are elections to important states as well as to parliament in the offing. The Congress party has, let me make it divisible. The Congress party has a well-tested and rooted leadership in the state apart from the fact that Mallikarjuna Kharge, the recently elected All India Congress president, hails from the state. The Congress electoral prospects elsewhere and hereafter may be crucially dependent on this election. The Gandhi family in general and Rahul Gandhi in particular enjoy a great moral standing in the state, with Mr. Gandhi Bharat Jodo Yatra adding to this. The Janata Dal, led by H.D. Devegowda, the former Prime Minister of India, is a local brew of a farming community, a dominant caste and with embedded memories of pluralism cohabiting a region. There is some truth in all these narratives, but there are also ideological contestations behind the escalating rhetorical flourish, biting satire, lampooning of opponents, and prominent promises of freebies. These contestations are redrawing the political contours of the political parties in the fray, particularly the BJP and Congress, and this shift would have an important bearing on the future of electoral democracy in India, including the idea of progress. Ideological overdrive. While the BJP has scored much success in Karnataka's electoral politics in these last two decades, its Hindutva project has not advanced at the same pace. This is in spite of the sporadic spectacles on Love Jihad, Tipu Sultan, the hijab issue, cow slaughter, and religious conversions. As a strong howl of common descent and cultural belonging in Savarkar's words and Pitrabu and Punyabu. Hindutva elicited some support in certain pockets of present-day Karnataka from early on, while a few in the Bombay Karnataka region, now called Kittur Karnataka too, were attracted by it. Most of the educated Lingayats of the region came to define themselves Visavasa Brahmins. A significant section of them were influenced by Jyotirao Pule Satyashodhaka Sangha. With the collection and classification of the scattered Vachana literature in the 1920s and the 1930s, and the maths as their institutional support base, the Lingayats had already begun to mount the demand of being a separate religious community in 1940s. However, with the founding of Karnataka as a separate state in 1956, they came to regard themselves as being foundational to it. There were deep internal cleavages of belief and social gradation within the community, and being Lingayat meant different things to different groups within it. The relative political marginalization of this numerous community from the 1970s and particularly from the late 1980s. The rise of new political players, contention with the local Lega, a large farming community that rallied together under the leadership of H.D. Devegowda. The inept handling of the local leadership by the All India Congress leadership persuaded its significant sections to shift their allegiance to the BJP in the 1990s. B.S. Yediyurappa and some other leaders such as Jagdish Shettar, who is now with the Congress, who were associated with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha, played the mediating role. This co-option of Lingayats into the Hindutva fold was not driven through an ideological grooming from below. The invariably involved drawing the Veerashaiva and Lingayat sees as community representatives into the political arena. Paradoxically, the Hindutva project in the state encountered a major roadblock in this community, internal to the project but also proud of its autonomy. Given this impasse, the Hindutva leadership chose to push to the margins those leaders who wielded clout and prestige within the community and brought the four others docile to it. A recrafting in southern Karnataka, where the Okkaliga have a dominant political presence, Hindutva embraced a different strategy in the last few decades. This region has witnessed a hastened pace of recrafting Hinduism, shifting the emphasis from village and local deities to those with wider appeal, renaming and reconstructing temples and ritual sites, reordering as sacred practices, and splitting spot syncretic spaces. At the same time, this prestige of the Adi Chinchanagiri Mutt and its presiding deity Kala Bhairava as the premier seat of the religiosity of this community has also grown enormously. Proponents of Hindutva have attempted to shift this efflorescence to reimpose this ideology. They have argued that Hindutva and Hinduism are one and the same. There has been a verification of Tipu Sultan, while new Okkaliga idols such as Nanjegowda and Urigowda are brought to the fore. The Adichunchinagiri Mutt, however, has been indisposed to such reconstruction without adequate evidence. The JDS has stood its ground against the pluralization of Ukaliga habitat and in the Thwas usurping its cultural resources. It has also rallied in favor of a strong regional identity, moving in another direction. I think Congress party seems to be shifting gears in a different ideological direction. There is little stress in its rhetoric on secularism, socialism, and nationalism that dominated much of its discourse for decades. These lofty goals are now presumed as a given in the constitutional frame of India, all has a given in the constitutional frame of India. All the early assurances of the party before the loud rhetoric of election frenzy set in, such as an unemployment rule in the educated and unemployed, a quantity of food grains to poor households, certain units of free electricity to the early household in the state, and free travel for women in public transport has no caste and region tag built into them. The emphasis has been on inclusiveness and equality. In fact, Mallikarjuna Kharge said in an interview to a media channel India Today that the ideological plank of his party is woven around democracy, constitutionalism, and rights. It is important to reiterate that Rahul Gandhi has often held forth highlighting these three issues, particularly vice versa. The Hindutva project, the left, still left over in Karnataka, seems to endorse this turn. The BJP is aware that the ideological plank through which it is proposes to recraft public life in Karnataka has led to much heartburn and has thrown up new fears and apprehensions. But it thinks that the charisma of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the party's organizations might and reach and rejuggling of the reservation code will enable it to wade through such opposition and covert resistance. It probably believes that this is the only course open to it to commandeer the other states of South India. The Congress has desisted from embracing the path of social polarization to counter Hindutva, although its local leadership has deep social moorings to pursue such an endeavor. The Congress could very well say that its ideological plan encompasses that of JDS as well, but it is not so much ideology, but a set of interests that holds the latter together. This is about the this is the editorial page. Valor and prestige, the word of special operations. His former additional director general Center for Air Power Studies. Let me read this. Valor and prestige, the word of special operations. The evacuation of 121 Indian from Wadi Sidna, north of Khartoum in Sudan, in the dead of night, using an Indian Air Force C-130 IF-3130 Super Hercules, has been lauded all around. The IAF's press release The IAF press release is an understatement of the stupendous task done on the night of April 27 to 28, but it is a subtle shabash to the personnel involved. And let us not forget the steady steed that flew, the C-130J, and the foresight of the IAF and national leadership in the beginning of the century, which, considering the growing stature and responsibilities of the nation, had planned the purchase of the aircraft, an outstanding capability enabler. One also needs to acknowledge the acquisition of the other aircraft for the IAF, the C-117 Globemaster heavy lift aircraft. The Wadi Sidna mission will soon be forgotten, and it's only right that the reader is able to have some idea of how special operations capability has progressed and what should be kept in mind as it is developed further. The impact of Kandahar. During the Kandahar incident of December 24, 1999, which when an Airlines flight was IC-814 was hijacked while on a flight from Kathmandu to New Delhi. It ended on December 31, 1999. I happened to be with Air Chief Marshal A.Y. Tipnis on December 24 in Israel. When the chief's mobile phone rang, the vice chief was online with the news that ICU-84 had been hijacked and had landed in Amritsar, a civil airfield. We all know how standard operating procedures didn't work. Thereafter, and the plane eventually landed at Kandahar in Afghanistan, leading to the release of dreaded terrorists. Could India have done a rescue like the famous Israeli rescue at Entebbe, Uganda in July 1976? Here, Israeli commandos flew all the way to Uganda and stormed a hijacked Air Force jet in trying circumstances. The will is sure to have been there, but for two big impediments: the presence of Pakistan, whose territory could not have been overflown, and no IF aircraft that could carry out a very risky mission avoiding Pakistani airspace, entering Afghanistan from the south and returning without refueling. The Afghanistan rescue mission center the C-130 in the IF inventory, and we now have this capability if the political leadership decides to intervene in such a critical situation where national interests and reputation are at stake. Before the Sudan rescue, there have been two other such missions that are known in the open domain. The first was the evacuation of Indian embassy personnel from Herat in Afghanistan in April 2020. The aircraft flew from India and had its engines running even after landing. The IAF's Gurud commandos stood guard while the diplomatic stamp planned. The second mission on August 2021 was an equally high risk one from Kabul. One had evacuation videos by the United States and the fiasco that unfolded going viral. The airspace was uncontrolled and the ground situation chaotic for want of a better word. There were a large number of aircraft in the air, and the pilots had to avoid them and use night vision goggles while landing. The only call they received from the ground controller was the line land at your own risk, a phrase that is etched on the shoulder patch that squadron crew wear on their flying overalls. While the crew on these missions were awarded for their professionalism and gallantry, what needs to be appreciated too is the air crew selection and their special training. In the case of the Sudan rescue, the crew faced many problems too. Intelligence was poor, and the runway was rough with no landing gates. All they had was stop clocks and blue aircraft instrumentation such as synthetic runway generation on the head-up display, electro-optical night vision capability, night vision goggles, and of course great confidence in their ability to pull it off. The essence of special ops operations such are much more than stick and throttle operations. Night vision goggles and dark nights. Every member of such a mission bears on his shoulders the weight of a nation's prestige. They are India's strategic corporals. This term, coined by General Charles C. Kruglock of the years, Marine Corps denotes that in modern warfare, the actions of even the enlisted man on the front lines has a strategic effect on the nation's policies, and that institutional training should cater for this. When it comes to failure, the bungled hostage rescue attempted by the Americans from Iran in 1980 are the picture of Gary Post in USSR custody when his U-2 was shot down in 1960 are reminders of the loss of face up for the US in terms of success. What brought laurels for the US was the elimination of Osama bin Laden in a special forces raid. There is thus a non-military intangible element in every such operation that a young officer or a corporal far removed from his base has to accomplish. It's only right that this ethos and training in the IAF Special Operations crew not be diluted by the lure of sending the versatile C-130 for routine tasks and VIP carriage. The IAF's C-130J Special Operation Quaterns there are to call themselves the Wheeled Vipers and the Raiding Raptures. Wheeled Vipers and Raiding Raptures, it's incumbent on the leadership to ensure that the stingy stays potent. This is the this is about the operations, hijacking operations which were combated by the Air Force. A guaranteed pension is not bad economics. Time for the DMK to guard itself. Europe uses India, China to get Russian oil despite sanctions. Golden Jubilee of Mathrubhumi. Shot down infiltration bid fired in J&K. She's army. India slips in press freedom index ranks 161 out of 161 18 nations. Center ready to ease living for gay couples. The Kerala story assist tells petitions to approach High Court for disclaimer. SC questions government on third extension given to ED Chief Minister. Delhi court summons BBC Wikipedia internet achieves in case filed by BJP leader. Jaishankar to hold talks with Chinese Russian ministers told. Rajnath lays foundation stone for Coast Guard harbour in Maldives. 13-year-old opens fire in classroom in Serbia, killing 8 students. God. The accused who was arrested after the incident had drawn sketches of classrooms, made a list of people to be targeted. He had carried 2 guns belonging to his father and 4 Molotov cocktails. Says officials. 6 children, a teacher hospitalized. Raisi praises Syria's victory in civil war despite sanctions. UN denounces Taliban intimidation. Attacks on journalists in Afghanistan. Belarusian activist who was parked off flight in 2021 jailed after for 8 years. The Anatomy of a Coronation, a guide to the crowning of King Charles III, adapting to climate change to cost India 85.6 lakh crore by 2030. Facilitated a payout of 31 crore to delivery partners, says Swiggy. Quality control not aimed at stopping imports. Goel. WTO needs to look at farm subsidy issue with open mind. This ASW still arm to invest 145 million in a new geos projects. Media industry grow, but TV revenues remain flat, says EY. Super Kings battle. Rain has the final seat. Kishan Suryakumar delivered for Mumbai Indians in exciting chase. Aman delighted with valuable knock. Teams see consistency as SRH meets KKR in a contest of equals. Usha issues support to wrestlers in a surprise visit. Ding Liren completes China's big dragon project. Former world under champ Tori Bowes passes away at 32. ATK MB provides whoever over Hyderabad FC. Nishant takes out Sharkans in first round. Kudarmetov faced Pegula in last four. Sheesh of Adani Wilmore tank after quarter 4 results. The average ticket size of retail investors declined in financial year 23. Number of persons burned by Adman Margin after a rise in India's coal production in the last 5 years. Troops Germany will pull out from Mali by May 2024. EU's Artificial Intelligence Act. What are the stipulations mentioned the new draft document of the European Union's AI Act? Why are the AI tools often called black boxes? What are the 4 risks categories these categories of AI. How did the popularity of ChatGPT accelerate and change the process of bringing in regulation of artificial intelligence? Text and context. Geography as cat to writes, writers, trace, dance, contradictory, complex history. Even before the latest player of the third largest country in Africa has been fluid in different directions, with its capital Khartoum being both in a place of refuge and a site of violence. Writers try to find a voice through the chaos to make sense of a diverse nation. I hope you guys read the newspaper for the next 42 to 40 minutes to 2 hours. It would make you increase your communication skill very soon. And I'm going to end this today's session. And please subscribe to my channel, like and comment. Please leave the comment in the comment box if you have any doubts. I can resolve your queries. So thank you so much and see you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye. Take care.